For you, then personally, I should say, then to be specific, like what kind of factors for you specifically? Not to ask you to speak for James and Kyrie.
Yeah, definitely want to do that. Being in a great environment, being around teammates that enjoy the game, keep growing individually. That's the thing. How we growing individually. We definitely come together as a team. Time is right, but I enjoy seeing my teammates get better. I enjoy getting better. And an environment that encourages that every day.
Nets World, it's your boy AJ's Nets News. Hashtag we go hard. So we got some breaking news. Breaking news. Mike D'Antoni is stepping away from the Brooklyn Nets. Let me read what Woj just said here. Brooklyn Nets assistant Mike D'Antoni is stepping away from a full-time coaching role on Steve Nash's staff. Sources tell ESPN D'Antoni is expected to pursue head coaching jobs again in the future. He was a finalist for the Portland job this year. And wow, this is really a big deal. I know a lot of Nets fans are celebrating and, oh my God, yes, Mike D'Antoni's gone. But people don't understand that Mike D'Antoni was the offensive genius that was behind the Brooklyn Nets system. He was the orchestrator of the system, you know what I'm saying? Steve Nash was kind of just the conductor, like Mike D'Antoni was the conductor and Steve Nash was basically the instrument. And that's what was last year, because Steve Nash didn't have some coach before, so he was relying a lot on Mike D'Antoni, even though like they've worked together before and they've obviously played on the Suns when Mike D'Antoni was on the head coach of the Suns. Like Steve Nash still knows his principles, but still as a coach he was grabbing everything from Mike D'Antoni. So this is the second coaching loss this postseason. And guys, we just lost Ime Udoka earlier in the month to the Boston Celtics, and we just hired David Vanderpool to replace him. But again, this is a big deal. Like, you think about the Nets offense, you think about Mike D'Antoni in general, he's just, every team he goes to, you can look at the stats, every team he goes to, the offense is either the number one offense, top 10 in the NBA. He's just a master at the offense. And there was a couple times this year I would look at our offense and it was just so smooth, so it was just so efficient. Certain plays, we had our ups and downs, but when we were up, we were definitely the best offense in the NBA. Let me read some stats about the offense. This is what Mike D'Antoni did with the offense this year. So the Nets ranked number one in offense. Points per game, we averaged 117.7 points per game, led the NBA. Fun fact, in 2019, we averaged 111.5 points per game. Sixth in average scoring margin with plus 4.8 a game. Third in offensive efficiency, 12th in points in the paint, 10th in fast break points, third in three-point efficiency, and sixth in three-pointers made per game. So again, I know that was also due to us having the big three now and our offense, but again, even we didn't really have the big three on the court this whole season. So that just proves, like, every game it was like, we had one all-star or two all-stars. It was so mixed up. Our whole season was all jumbled up with injuries. So even still with that, Mike D'Antoni's offense still had us at number one, and it was literally third in offensive efficiency, and we led the NBA in points per game. So that just shows you how the offensive genius that Mike D'Antoni was. And then we talk about the defense. A lot of people say that Mike D'Antoni's defense is the switching, the small ball. The small ball and the switching is all Mike D'Antoni. Will Steve Nash keep that? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Nets fans are confused, but it's like, for me, I'm a little worried about leaving. The fact that Steve Nash actually has to do his job, actually has to coach, is terrifying. It really is terrifying. It's scary that he's by himself and he has no type of, of course he has his staff, but Mike D'Antoni, the lead assistant, a lot ran through him. a lot ran through him, and the fact that Steve Nash actually has to do his job is a little bit frightening. I'm a little bit worried about that. So that's why this is a big deal. But again, are we going to see the Nets switch? Will the Nets keep the switching system? Will the offense look different next year? I mean, a lot of people want to blame the switching defense, but sometimes it did really work. You know what I'm saying? And we looked at the playoffs. Our defense was really good in the playoffs. We've had spurts that our defense was really like I think at the end of the year, like most of the year we were around like 27, 28th in the league. But that last end part of the year, our defense was getting up to that 14, 13 rank, you know, in those last stretch of the games. And then the playoffs, the defense looked really good. Sometimes that switching did affect teams, and it really did create turnovers at times, you know. And a lot of people want to blame Mike D'Antoni, like, oh, he shouldn't switch everything because, you know, he did that with the Rockets. But again, it's just you know, a big deal that he's gone. He's not. I guess he will come back eventually to the league, but he's not coming back to the Nets. Maybe, you know, it's just it just worries me that Steve Nash has to do this by himself. You know what I'm saying? And I know people say that Jacques Vaughn and Udoka was our defense coordinators. But again, they chose, this is the difference between them and Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni's system is the switch defense. Yes, that's his system, but every game the defensive schemes change according to the team, like who we gonna double, who we gonna do that is all Udoka and Jacques Vaughn. They did that, but the whole switching scheme, this whole switching Swiss system is Mike D'Antoni. Jacques Vaughn and Udoka did the ins and outs of the defensive schemes, who we gonna double, should we do 1-2-3 zone, stuff like that. That's what the coordinators did, but the system was D'Antoni. So let me know in the comments how you guys feel about Mike D'Antoni. Do you guys think the Nets offense will change? Do you think we won't be ranked as we were ranked this year? Do you think the defense will change? Do you think we'll still switch everything? Let me know in the comments. Is this a big deal to you that Mike D'Antoni is leaving and Steve Nash is basically going to be coaching? Well, we're gonna have to figure out if Steve Nash can really coach now. You know what I'm saying? Now we're gonna have to see if Steve Nash can really coach. That he doesn't have, you know, that a veteran, you know, a veteran coach, you know, that head coach that on his staff, on his bench. So I have some other news now about Bruce Brown, the update on his qualifying offer. This is from Bobby Marks. Quote, it says qualifying offer on Bruce Brown is $4,736,000. Brown has full bird rights, and Brooklyn can bring him back despite being over the salary cap and deep into the luxury tax. However, signing Brown to a $10 million contract, for example, would cost Brooklyn an extra $36 million toward the luxury tax. Wow. So that is big news on that Bruce Brown update. So now that we know, well, I think we knew this, that we have Bruce Brown's bird rights, so we can go over the salary cap. But if we can give Bruce Brown that 10 mil, but Joe Tsai would have to take the L and be an extra 36 million toward the luxury tax. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? Let me know in the comments. Now that we know we can bring Bruce back, should we bring Bruce back? You know, should we bring him back? Let me know in the comments if we should bring Bruce Brown back. Some people, I know people are hitting me up right now. Some people say that they rather have Spencer. Spencer's more important. Some people want Bruce to stay. Some people think we could just get another bigger defensive guard, be the bigger defensive wing. Let me know in the comments, should we keep Bruce? But yeah, that was the breaking news of the day. It's your boy AJ. Please hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell. Follow me on Instagram at NetsKingdom711. And we'll be back tomorrow for draft night. Stay tuned. We're going to have the draft party. We'll be back. Let me know what you guys thoughts in the comments. It's your boy AJ. It's Nets News. I'm out.